morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. What about you, ma'am?
Fine. So can I have your resume?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about yourself.
Firstly, thanks for giving this wonderful opportunity to introduce myself in front of you, ma'am. So, my name is Sharif. I'm from Guntur, and my career objective is to seek an employment in any organization which inspires to enhance my skills and work in positive atmosphere. And coming to educational details, I completed my graduation in Ishwar College of Engineering in the stream of ECE with a percentage of 70. And coming to intermediate, I completed my intermediate in Narayana Junior College with a percentage of 92. And coming to SSC, I completed my 10th in JDBC school with a percentage of 87. And coming to technical skills, I'm good at Java and C programming. And coming to hobbies, listening music, watching movies. And coming to skills like I'm hard worker and adaptable to any environment. That's about me.
Okay. What kind of books you will learn?
Like novels, so which are very interested. By learning this, we can acquire good knowledge and vocabulary.
Okay. Which movies you will watch?
Which movies like technological movies,
Okay.
so which are related to the technologies. I like these movies.
What is your long-term goal?
So to become a good Java developer, ma'am. So that's my dream.
Okay. Fine. I think in your technical skills you have mentioned Java.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So I will ask you some questions regarding to Java.
Yes, sure.
Rate yourself out of 5. What is the rating you will give in
3.5,
Java?
ma'am.
3.5. Okay. Do you have done any academic project?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it is a gas leakage detection system. Nowadays, most of the people are suffering with gas leakages. So to work in that problem, we bring this project. So this is a gas leakage detection system. In this, we use a gas leakage sensor and Arduino board and buzzers and LCD displays and like a breadboard and connecting wires. All these are the components of this gas leakage detection system. By using this gas leakage detection system, we can easily observe that there is occurring a gas leakages. So by knowing this, we can save ourselves from that dangerous situation. So this is the main advantage, main aim of this gas leakage detection system. That's
Okay. So by using which languages you have developed this application?
C programming, ma'am.
C programming. Okay, that's fine. So I will ask you some questions.
Yes.
Okay. So in how many ways we can create object to the class?
Before about telling that, first the main aim of creating object is to allocate the memory for the class.
Okay.
So there is several ways to create an object to a class. So by using a new keyword, we can create an object. So whenever we creating an object by using this new operator, we can call parameterized constructors and default constructors, and we can also create by using a new instance method of a class. So whenever we are trying to create an object of a class by using this new instance of a class method, it invokes a no argument constructors, no argument constructor, and we can also create the object to a class by using a new instance of a constructor class, and it is also same as a new instance method of a class method, but it is one of the constructor which is presented in the java.lang.reflect.constructor class.
Okay.
So whenever we are trying to create an object to a class by using this new instance method of a constructor, it invokes a parameterized constructor and private constructors.
Okay.
So we can also create the object to a class by using a clone method.
Clone method.
So this clone method is presented in a clonable interface of object class. So we can create. So we can also create by using this. So but whenever creating object to a class by using this clone method, it does not invoke any constructors. So whenever we call a clone method, JVM creates a new instance for us and copies the existing object exact copy into the new object.
New object.
So these are the
Okay.
ways to create
Clone method is present in which class?
object class, ma'am.
Object class.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the difference between error and exception?
So errors and exceptions are the subclasses of a throwable class, ma'am. So the major differences between the exceptions and errors are, so exceptions are occurred at runtime and compilation time, but the errors are occur at runtime only. So we can recover the exceptions using a try block, but we cannot recover the errors. So exceptions are classified into two categories: checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. All the errors in the Java are unchecked exceptions.
Okay.
So compiler knows about the checked exceptions, so we can handle the exceptions. But coming to errors, unchecked exceptions are the runtime. So compiler doesn't know about the unchecked exceptions.
Unchecked exceptions.
So exceptions causes because of applications itself. But coming to errors, errors causes by environment which the applications are running.
Okay.
So examples of the exceptions are SQL exceptions, IO exceptions, and index out of bound exceptions. And errors are stack overflow, out of memory. So these are the major differences between the exceptions and errors.
Can you write a try block without finally and catch block? Is it possible to write a try
No,
block?
ma'am, it is not possible because we cannot create only try block without finally and catch block. It throws a compilation error. So
Okay.
compilation error. So we should definitely use the either with the try catch or try with the finally block.
Or try with finally block.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Final block is mandatory while writing the program,
No,
while
ma'am.
implementing exception handling.
No, ma'am. If we want to execute the some code, definitely, even though if there is an exception in the program, so at the situation we can use a finally block. By using this, we can execute our mandatory statements in that program.
Okay. What is variable argument method?
Variable argument method. So I will explain it with an example. So suppose we want to add two numbers. So what we do? Just we write a method with the two parameters, sum. So by using this method, we cannot add more than two variables. If again, if we want to create if we want to add three variables, again we will create a method. So by using this this approach, the code length is increasing. So to overcome this problem, there is a method, variable argument method. So it accepts the arbitrary number of arguments. So it internally implements an array.
Okay. What type of array it will follows internally?
1D array, single dimension
1D array. So if you are representing variable arguments, what is the symbol we need to use while defining the method?
Ellipsis symbol, and that is 3 dots.
3
For
dots.
data type, ellipsis symbol, that is 3 dots after the variable name.
Okay, very good. Next, what is the difference between buffer reader class and scanner class?
So generally buffer reader class and scanner class are used to read the input from the user. So the major differences between the buffer reader class and scanner class are, so buffer reader is a synchronized class and it is used with multiple threads. And coming to scanner class, it is not a synchronized, so we cannot use it with the multiple threads. And the buffer memory is larger than a scanner, and scanner memory is smaller.
Okay.
And buffer it is faster than scanner, but scanner class is slower because it is passing the input. And there is a ambiguity problem between at the read line method in the buffer reader class. And coming to scanner class, there is also a lot of problems with the next line method.
Next line
Yes,
method.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So what is collection framework?
So the main purpose of introducing this concept in collections is, so we have a major disadvantage with the arrays.
Yes.
So in arrays we have a fixed size. If we want to, if for example, if the array size is 5, now our requirement is we add more than 5 elements into that array, but it is not possible. So because array is a fixed size, to overcome this problem, Java introduced a new concept, collection interface, a collection framework. So this collection framework stores a collection of objects. And collection framework is a framework. This framework contains a classes and they are implemented. Collection framework contains interfaces and their implementation classes. So in order to store the collection of objects into a single entity. So
collections are present in which package?
Util package. All the collections are present in a util package. And the collection framework classified into two types: collection interface and map interface. Again, in collection interface we have three interfaces: list interface, set interface, queue interface. So this is about the collections framework.
Okay.
So and collection framework dynamically grows its length based on our situation. So I think this is very suitable for mostly collections are used in Java.
Okay. What is enumeration?
So enumeration is a class. It is similar to the class, and it contains a group of constants. And collection also have a variables, methods, constructors.
Okay. Enumeration is present in which package?
Lang package, ma'am.
Lang package. So enumeration contains constants,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So how you can call the constants from the enumeration?
Enumeration class has a values method. So by using this method, we can retrieve the constants from the enumeration class.
Okay. So can we create object to enumeration?
No, ma'am. We cannot create an object because all are constants. So we cannot create an object to that enumeration class.
Okay. Can we pass variables into the enumeration? Variables or constructors? Can we pass variables and constructors into the enumeration?
Yes, ma'am. We can pass the variables and methods and constructors into the enumeration class.
Okay. What is a string constant pool?
A string constant pool is a storage area, ma'am. So which is present in the heap. So generally we create a strings in two ways: using string literals and by creating an object. So whenever we creating a string with object, every object takes place a memory in the heap. So even though if the two strings having the same content, it creates a different objects. Due to this, it occupies a much memory and the performance is decreasing. So Java introduced a string constant pool. So it is also called as a string intern pool. So the difference is by using a string intern pool, if we created two strings, the two strings have the same content. It does not create two different objects into that string pool. If the content is same, then the second string also allocates into the same memory.
Same memory.
So that is about the
So
string pool.
what is that memory? Can we call it as a? We can call with one name. What is the name? It will generate one reference number, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what we call that reference number?
Hash code, ma'am.
Hash code.
Yes.
Okay. So what is hash code?
Hash code is nothing but address, ma'am. You can simply say it is an address.
Address.
That's hash code is nothing but address.
Okay. Can you explain the steps to implement JDBC application?
Yes, ma'am. And firstly, JDBC is a Java database connection. Java database connection.
Database connectivity.
Java database connectivity. So JDBC is an API. So it provides some steps how to connect the Java with the database connection. So it acts as a like API. There are 5 steps to connect Java with the database. And firstly, we have to register with the driver of the database. For that, we use a class.frontline method. And the second step is we have to create the connection. So how we create the connection means in driver manager class we have a get connection method. So by using that get connection method, we can establish the connection between the Java and database.
Okay.
And the third step is statement object. Create the statement object. The main purpose of creating the statement object is it acts as a mediator. So it takes Java programs, what the queries are we are sending from Java to database. So it takes the queries to database, and that after processing the data in the database, the result will be again get back to the Java program. So it acts as a mediator between them. And the statement object is created by using a create statement, which is present in the statement interface.
Statement interface.
And after that, we execute the queries.
Mm.
So for execution, we have a methods execute update and execute query. Execute update is used to insert the data into the database, and execute query. Execute query is to retrieve the data from the database. After getting that data, which will be stored in the result set interface.
Okay.
So by using we have some get methods in the resultant set interface.
Result set interface.
Result set interface. We will get
If
the
you
output.
want to if you want to retrieve integer, which method we can use?
Get int man,
String,
get string,
float.
get float.
Okay, fine. Okay. What is prepared statement interface?
Prepared statement interface. It is an interface and it is a sub interface of a statement interface. So the main purpose of a prepared statement is to avoid the SQL injection problem. And by using prepared statement, we can create a dynamic queries.
Okay. What is SQL injection problem?
So SQL injection problem means is nothing but hacking them without our permission entering into our database. How they will enter means, so whenever we using a we will sending the query using a statement object. So the statement object what it does means it will send the queries with the values. It does not send only first queries and after that values. It does send the queries with the values at a time into the database. So
Okay.
due to that, the hacker whenever creating a query, they have to pass the values. So in that values, he create a sub queries. So which are how to enter into the database without any permissions. So due to that, database accepts as a queries and it does not check what the values have either sub queries or not. So it just accepts as it is a query. So I am storing into the database.
Okay. So what is the main difference between ODBC and JDBC?
So ODBC is a open database connectivity, and JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity, and ODBC introduced by the Microsoft prior to the JDBC in the year 1992, but JDBC was introduced by Sun Microsystems after the ODBC in 1997, and ODBC is a platform dependent, means it is only suitable for Windows operating systems. We cannot use it with other operating systems like Mac OS, Linux. So we cannot use this. So but
ODBC was developed by which company?
Microsoft, man.
Okay, JDBC?
JDBC Sun Microsystems. So I'm coming to JDBC. It is a platform independent. So it does
JDBC.
Yes, ma'am. It works with any OSs. There is no restrictions regarding OSs. It can work with Linux or Mac OS or Windows. It does work with any.
Okay.
But the performance is coming to performance. The ODBC performance is large. I mean best. Coming to scanner. Coming to JDBC because it has a native how the performance based on data invokes, but which is not better than ODBC.
Okay. So explain list interface and collections.
So list interface is the sub interface of a collection interface, ma'am. So to implement the list interface, we have 3 classes, 4 classes: array list, vector, linked list, stack. Stack extends the vector. So the list interface maintains the insertion order.
Insertion order.
If we make insert the data into the collection, it maintains that insertion order.
Okay. List will take duplicate values.
Yes, ma'am. It allows the duplicate values and null values. It allows the
Okay. Sets will allow duplicate values.
a set not allows the duplicate values, ma'am, but it allows the null values.
Null values.
So the difference is.
Okay. Fine. So what is two-tier architecture?
So two-tier architecture also called as a client-server architecture. It is so this client-server architecture is divided into 2 systems. One is client system and the server system. In the client system, we have a presentation layer and a business layer. And coming to server system, we have a database layer and database. So whenever the client system sends a request to the server system, the server will process it and sends back to the client system.
Okay.
So that is about that.
What is generic class?
So generic class. So this generic concept mainly used in collections. So if we not use the generics, we have to face the type safety problems and like typecasting. We have to typecast explicitly before using the generics. So whenever we using the generics,
Generic classes are present in which package again?
Generic classes lang package.
Sure.
So I think I don't have much knowledge on it.
Okay. Do one thing. Write a Java program.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To find out even indexing elements and odd indexing elements in the array. Okay. Write a Java program to find out even indexing elements.
Okay.
Okay. And odd indexing elements in the given array.
Sure.
Write down the program for that.
Okay, ma'am. I'm writing the program. So first we have to create the class, and the class name should be, first letter of the class name should be capital. So the class name is I. So we have a main method, public static void main string args. So now I am creating an array, integer type of array. It contains elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for retrieving the even indexing elements from this array, the logic is for int I equals to 0, I less than a dot length, I plus equals to 2, system dot print a of I, and for retrieving the odd indexing elements into the from the array, this is the logic for int I equals to 1, I less than a dot length, I plus equals to 2, system dot out dot I, and the main method will be equals. So the logic is, so this is an array. So for retrieving the even indexing elements, the even indexing elements are so 0, 2, 4 are the even indexing elements. So I write a for loop. So int I equals, initial I value is 0 and I less than a dot length. So I am incrementing the I value with the 2. So I equals to 0, I less than length. The condition is true. Then prints the a of 0. A of 0 is a 1. After that, again incremented I value with the 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2. So now the I value is 2. So 2 less than a dot length. Again prints the a of 2 value. So
Okay. In the same way, odd also.
Odd also. So this is about retrieving the even indexing elements and odd indexing elements.
Okay. Your interview is completed. Okay. Technical round is completed.
Okay.
So for further information, our HR will contact you.
Okay.